Happening now, police are cracking down on illegal fireworks in Jamestown, plus the changes coming to New York's child care centers.
And the sun is shining once again today, and it's going to be that way throughout much of this week. I've got the full details next. The news at noon starts right now.
Live and on demand, this is WNY News Now.
And thanks for joining us for WNY News Now. I'm Justin Gould. Before we get to our top story, we want to start with some late-breaking news. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, during his COVID-19 press conference update, which is happening right now in Albany, announced that Western New York will likely enter Phase 4 of reopening tomorrow. Now, this certainly is no surprise, as each phases are about 2 weeks apart, and we were expecting to head in that direction, as long as state officials didn't say otherwise. But he hinting during his press conference that we should be a go. Now, if you remember, under Phase 4, low-risk indoor and outdoor activities, as well as certain media production services which aren't deemed essential, like news services like WNY News Now, are able to start to begin and resume filming and operation. Not included in Phase 4 right away, which this is interesting as we reported last week, gyms, shopping malls, and movie theaters are not going to immediately reopen in that phase. We spoke to Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell late last week, who said that he's going to continue to fight for those entities to reopen. He was told by the state's public budget director, Robert Mahica, during a state control room meeting last week that they weren't going to immediately open in the first section of the phase. However, they are included in Phase 4. They're just not going to start on Tuesday. We still don't know specifically when they're given the green light to resume. That includes shopping malls, gyms, and movie theaters. Western New York, as we all know, includes Chautauqua, Cattaraugus, Allegheny, Erie, and Niagara counties. And of course, we'll continue to follow this for updates. But what we know is Phase 4 is likely to start tomorrow, according to New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo, who made the announcement just a little while ago. Otherwise, our top story here in Jamestown, 7 people are facing charges following an illegal fireworks crackdown over the past weekend. In response to several community complaints, New York State Police and Jamestown Police conducted a joint illegal fireworks detail Saturday. Now, they say that detail was conducted from noon until 5 and resulted in the arrest of 7 people for transporting illegal fireworks into New York. In addition, a large quantity of those fireworks were seized. 7 were charged, 4 of them City of Jamestown residents, 2 others from Falconer, and 1 person was reportedly from out of the area, police said. Now, all were issued appearance tickets in the case and are due back in court. The fireworks have been secured by the New York State Police Bomb Disposal Unit for destruction. Well, a 22-year-old autistic man who left his residence and was able to be located by his family has been found safe. The Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office says that after a short investigation on Sunday, deputies found the man walking on Route 20 in the town of Pomfret at around 8 a.m. They say the man was luckily not injured and returned to his family. Well, the number of U.S. women experiencing complications during pregnancy and childbirth has climbed to 30% in recent years, and the COVID-19 pandemic is having a profound impact on prenatal care and delivery. That according to new data. I'm Andy Gaither with more.
The coronavirus pandemic is impacting how pregnant women seek care and give birth, according to a report conducted by researchers at Blue Cross Blue Shield. Surveys of more than 1,000 commercially insured women ages 18 to 44 who were pregnant or gave birth in March or April this year found more than 1 in 4 missed prenatal visits. 53% weren't able to have a loved one in the delivery room during childbirth, and 15% shifted to a home birth. Researchers also examined 1.8 million pregnancies between 2014 and 2018 and determined the number of women who have experienced complications before and during childbirth in recent years has climbed 31.5%. The number of women diagnosed with postpartum depression increased by nearly 30%. The data showed more women had chronic health conditions from 2015 to 2018 before becoming pregnant. Those pre-existing conditions can raise the risk of pregnancy and childbirth complications and include high blood pressure, type 2 diabetes, obesity, and major depression. For today's Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Mandy, thank you. Researchers say the report underscores the importance of focusing on health of pregnant women and access to care. The New York State Department of Health has approved an increase in group size for child care centers statewide. The news was announced late last week that the department will increase group size to 15 children per room where age appropriate. Now, supporters of the change say it will help ensure child care availability across the state. The previous recommendation was a maximum group size of 10. The initial changes to group size for child care and daycare programs came as the state continues to fight against coronavirus. Well, we thank you all for joining us here for WNY News Now. And if you're just joining us on the broadcast, we want to update you with some breaking news of sorts, although we kind of knew about it heading into today. New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo now confirming that phase 4 of reopening is a go come tomorrow. We will likely enter that phase. And him making that announcement just a little while ago during a COVID-19 press conference update in Albany. He says that under the plan, low-risk indoor and outdoor activities as well as some non-essential media production are able to reopen. However, as we reported last week, gyms, movie theaters, and malls are not going to be immediately included in the phase. Chautauqua County Executive P.J. Wendell vowing to continue to push to get those included in the phase. We still don't have an update on whether they'll be included or not. State officials have gone back and forth on that topic. We, of course, will continue to push for answers and give you an update, certainly when we can. Well, let's say hello to Cassandra. Hopefully you're doing well. Good to see Lori. Great to have Pam on the broadcast. Thanks for joining us today. Good to see Joseph, Joey, Butch, Wendy. Happy Monday to you. Always great to have you. Thanks for joining us. And good to see David as well. Gotta get a check of our First Defense weather forecast now with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. And Mr. Hunter, this past weekend was pretty nice out there. All things considered, I got to enjoy some quality time outside yesterday, and it certainly was feeling like summer.
It is, and of course this weekend was basically an A-plus weekend, which is something we told you about last week, and of course Andrew talked about it over the weekend. I mean, it was a fantastic weekend, and if you liked it, it's going to continue. This is a live look over Salamanca from the Seneca Allegheny Casino. Just a few puffy clouds in the sky, but the temperature already up to 78 degrees, and the problem is now, since we're going to get into a stretch of dry weather, here's the allergies for you, and we're all dealing with this stuff. I feel you. I'm right in this boat. Trees, grasses, and mold are our main culprits right now in terms of the allergies. So have the tissues, all that stuff, because you know, we know with the dry conditions it's going to get worse. First Defense Doppler radar, not going to spend time on it. It is dry, and it's going to be that way probably throughout the next 7 to 9 days, and you'll see that a little bit later on. 77 was the high yesterday, 58 was the low this morning, 91 and 44 are the record highs and lows for this day. So hour by hour, lots of sunshine, soak it up, temperatures near 80 degrees today with lots of sunshine, the humidity up just a little bit, so it is going to be just a little bit sticky, just a tiny bit. But if you like this weather, it continues, and we'll talk about it in a few. Justin?
All right, Dakota, thank you very much. Coming up, we got a lot more to tell you about this half hour. Why one of New York's senior senators is calling for a federal emergency declaration extension and how that will affect us. And later, details on one of the area's largest garage sale events. Stay with us as WNY News Now continues.
With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
When you're on the go, stay in the know by downloading the WNY News Now mobile app. Stay up to date on local news, weather, and sports that matter to you. Plus, subscribe to breaking news and weather alerts from the team that puts coverage first. In addition, watch news as it happens with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network. Download the WNY News Now app right now. It's free on the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
New York senior senator is calling on President Donald Trump to extend the nation's COVID-19 national health emergency declaration. Although that declaration isn't set to expire for nearly a month, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says the president needs to take action now as states like Texas and California are seeing major spikes in COVID-19 cases.
So we need action right now, and that's why I am setting off the alarm bells for President Trump to renew the public health emergency, which expires on July 25th. A public health emergency must be renewed now. And the worry is that President Trump, in his own inimitable way, will not want to renew the emergency because he wants to deny that it exists, even though everyone knows it does exist.
Health experts say the United States could see another 15,000 COVID-19 related deaths within a month, with Florida becoming the next epicenter after over 18,000 additional cases were reported this weekend. Last week, New York's infection rate fell below 1%, the lowest in the country. And as mentioned, some public health experts say that Florida could be the next epicenter of coronavirus. Now, Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties are closing their beaches for the 4th of July holiday weekend. Randy Kay reports.
A dire warning from one Trump cabinet member.
The window is closing for us to take action and get this under control.
As 31 states report an increase in new coronavirus cases over the last week, like here in Florida, the state reporting more than 8,500 new cases Sunday, after reporting a record high Saturday of more than 9,500 cases. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis blaming recent increases on a, quote, test dump, a backlog of tests that all came through at the same time. A former CDC director discounted testing as the source of most increases.
I can tell you with 100% certainty that in most states where you're seeing an increase, it is a real increase. It is not more tests, it is more spread of the virus.
DeSantis conceding that there is reason for concern, particularly in the demographics of the uptick of confirmed cases.
That positivity increase is really being driven by a big increase over the last 3 weeks in individuals testing positive throughout the state of Florida in younger age groups, particularly 18 to 44.
The numbers forcing DeSantis to hit pause on the state's reopening plan, closing bars throughout the state. And even with no state order, Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties planning to have all beaches closed for the July 4th holiday weekend.
It is an unfortunate result, but public health remains the focus of the elected leaders of Palm Beach County. And, unfortunately, this 4th of July will not be spent at the beach.
In Texas, cases are still surging, with the positivity rate increasing to more than 13% in recent days, according to Johns Hopkins University. Vice President Mike Pence now urging people to wear face masks after weeks of saying concerns over the sudden surge were overblown.
Wear a mask wherever it's indicated, or wherever you're not able to practice the kind of social distancing that would prevent the spread of the coronavirus.
At a church event in Texas with more than 2,000 people attending, Pence watched with a mask on as a 100-person choir sang with no face coverings, only putting on masks when they were seated. The CDC has warned choir singing could be a super spreader event. highlighting a March choir practice in Washington where just one symptomatic person led to 87% of the singers getting infected. Republican Senator Lamar Alexander stressing the importance of masks, arguing President Trump could be the key to convincing more people to wear them.
I wish the president would wear a mask when it's appropriate because millions of Americans admire him and they would follow his lead.
Randy Kay reporting. Vice President Pence is traveling to some of the states that are seeing surges in cases. He will be visiting 2 more hard-hit states in the coming days, Arizona and Florida, although events with the public were canceled in both of those states out of concern for the virus. Well, back here at home, a new state order requiring 14 days of quarantine after traveling to a state with a high coronavirus infection rate could impact some New Yorkers' benefits. New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut have imposed 2 weeks of quarantine for anyone arriving from 8 states that are at high risk for COVID-19. The order also states that New Yorkers who take non-work-related trips to states like Alabama, Arkansas, Arizona, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Utah, and Texas, and then return home would lose their sick leave and paid benefits. The new orders are being sent to all airports to make travelers aware of the consequences. Well, an annual community garage sale and yard sale event in the town of Carroll is scheduled to take place coming up in August. Residents in the town and surrounding area are invited to participate in the community-wide event on August 7th, 8th, and 9th. Participants are asked to register beforehand. Maps will be available on Friday and Saturday of the event at the VSK Emporium, Frewsburg Fire Department, Myers Library, and the Town Hall. Now, earlier this month, New York State Lieutenant Governor Kathy Hochul announced that garage sales, which were previously not okay due to the pandemic, are now a goal. Social distancing guidelines are still in effect, though, and sale organizers are required to provide hand sanitizer to customers, according to Hochul. Well, maybe some people getting out there and enjoying a good hunt at a garage sale, or if you're not too comfortable, it's always the guidelines of if you don't want to go, you don't have to. Thank you so much for joining us here for WNY News Now. Got to say hello to Don. Hopefully you're doing well. Good to see Lori. Kate, thanks for joining us on the broadcast as well, along with Nick and Joe. Good to see all of you. And they're really talking about, I think, this hot weather that is possibly coming our way. Let's get a check of that now with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. And Mr. Hunter, the topic, it looks like, is allergies. And I can attest to that. Whenever I go out after an extended period of time, I always get like an itchy throat. And unfortunately now, with the whole public health crisis, especially if I'm sneezing a lot from being outside, I'm always like, please, no, it's not COVID. It's just my allergies. And some people...
It's like red eyes and whatnot. It's like red eyes and you're sniffling and whatnot. You're like, don't worry, it's not COVID, it's just allergies. How about that meme on Facebook where, it was like the kid who had like the red eyes and a runny nose on the meme? And I guess the question is, like, do you have COVID? And it's like, no, pollen 2020.
Right, yeah.
Have you seen that meme?
I mean, if we could get rid of the pollen, I know it does so good for the environment, but it's like, just the itchiness. That's the thing, and it's I think that's what comes with living where we do is we have the beauties, but at the same time, sometimes the middle of December for those with summertime allergies is great, but then you get some of those people who both have summer allergies and dust allergies, and it's like, yeah, I'm so sorry.
Allergies is an all-year thing for me, so I suffer through it all year long. I've been doing it for 20-some years. I'm okay. Hey, how about Sunday? It was a cloudy start to the day on Sunday, but the clouds actually broke up, leading to a lot of sunshine. Our own producer and all-around rock star, Storm Hartman, sent this in to us. So, Storm, thank you very much for this picture. And, of course, if you have any pictures of the video, pictures or video of the weather, Hunters WX on Twitter, the First Defense Weather page on Facebook, and, of course, make sure you use the hashtag MyLocalWX, and we will get them on the air. Here's a live look coming from downtown Jamestown from That's on top of the DoubleTree Hotel. Again, there's the construction going on at the Northwest Arena. Of course, they're adding on there for the National Comedy Center. 76 is the temperature at noon hour. Light wind, only 5 miles per hour, but the dew point, 58 degrees. And that's going to be a key number into this forecast throughout this week. It's going to be slowly climbing, so you're going to notice at least a little bit of stickiness. Today's a good day to get out on the golf course. Temperatures up to around 80, lots of sunshine, light winds, so that should not be a big factor for golfers out there. But if you're not a golfer and if you want to get out on the beach, Lake Erie waterfront temperature right around 77 degrees, but that UV index is going to be very high today, so sunscreen recommended. And look at that Lake Erie water temperature up to 70 degrees. It's bath water. Grab that soap because you could take a bath in the lake because of how warm it is. Rain chances, of course, we were talking about pollen. We need the rain to wash pollen away, and nothing over the next 5 days. Literally nothing. I mean, it's basically 10, 10, 20, 10, 10. I mean, that's basically almost a 0% chance of rain. Now, looking into the 4th of July here, because, of course, this weekend is, of course, the 4th here. So it's actually going to be a great weekend. Dry temperatures, mid to upper 80s, basically all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And, of course, for Saturday, we put life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's, of course, in the Declaration of Independence. So it's going to be a great 4th of July weekend, but warm as well. But that's what it's supposed to feel like in July. It's supposed to be hot. Satellite and radar composite shows you nothing, just a few high clouds basically across the southern tier. High pressure blocking. This is a high pressure block right here. So this is basically going to be in control throughout much of this week. But notice these thunderstorms over here. Notice all the lightning strikes. Very powerful storms over there, but they're not going to get here. That high pressure is going to rip them right apart before they get here. So 56 to 64 tonight. A fantastic night, but do look out for some patchy fog, especially in the valley locations by tomorrow morning. How about your future? It's coming up on the screen. 80 tomorrow, 81 on Wednesday. It's basically just rinse and repeat weather all week long. Take the weather, add a few more degrees on top of it. There it is. And the weekend looking great for all of the 4th of July festivities. We will take a break and be right back. So don't touch that dial.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Want weather now? Download the WNY News Now mobile app and stay up to date on severe weather alerts. Plus, anytime hazardous weather strikes, stick with the Southern Tier's only 24/7 streaming network that keeps you safe. You're all in a tornado warning, so now is the time to go to a safe place, small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. What are you waiting for? Download the WNY News Now mobile app today. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store.
There's an old saying, there's no news in the newsroom. Well, it's true. The time I spend at the anchor desk is just part of my day. Most of our time is spent gathering stories in the community, stories that matter to you. We can't do it alone, and we need your help. When you see breaking news or have a news tip we should know about, drop us a line on Facebook today, email our news desk, or call our newsroom at 488-7226 so we can bring those stories straight back to you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
The designer of the I Love New York logo, Milton Glasser, has died at the age of 91. Glasser was also the co-founder of New York Magazine. Now, according to that platform, he passed away from natural causes on Friday, which happened to also be his birthday. Glasser co-founded New York Magazine in 1968 and served as the president and designer and director until the late 70s. Now, in 1977, he designed the I Love NY logo to promote tourism in the state. His logo was created amid rampant crime and numerous blackouts, as well as a poor economy in the New York City area. His concept sketch is part of the Metropolitan Museum of Art's permanent collection in New York City. Glasser is survived by his wife. Certainly that logo now seen pretty much not just across New York State, but if not all of the country in the world, with a very comprehensive tourism campaign that was launched about a decade ago. Well, we thank you all so much for joining us here for WNY News Now as we start a brand new week, a week that might be a little short for some of us because the 4th of July is not too far away. Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter here now with a look at that forecast in case you missed it. And Dakota, I think everyone's kind of in an interesting position because some of us have worked throughout COVID-19. So we want a break, myself included. Others, and I'm sure you can attest to that, others though are still on some sort of furlough, vacation, state unemployment, whatever it may be, because they can't find work. So it's almost like, what's the 4th of July?
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, this whole year has been just one of the most weirdest years I think we've ever gone through, at least all of us in our generation. I mean, you know, it's definitely going to be one for the history books. And, you know, I said last week, something happens in everybody's life that's going to be a defining day. And this is definitely going to be one of it. 4th of July weekend forecast here. Friday, a lot of people are going to have a 3-day weekend. So here, 86 on Friday. The sunshine continues, but hot and humid. Independence Day itself, nice, lots of sunshine, and we continue that into Sunday. And if you're looking for any rain, nothing really over the next 6 to 10 days. Justin?
All right, Dakota, thank you very much. That's it for us today. We leave you with this live look over Chautauqua Lake. Of course, when you're on the go, be sure to stay in the know. Simply download the WNY News Now mobile app on the Apple App Store, Google Play Store. Subscribe to breaking news, push notifications, and we'll keep you updated 24/7. We're back tomorrow. Hope to see you then.